Hey there, welcome to another review for another Impossible Mission Impossible film. I guess I worded that weird because the company these are in the movie is IMF, Impossible Mission Force. Which I always thought it was weird, it's called IMFs. Like, why isn't it just called MIF, Mission Impossible Force? But I don't know, for some reason they said Impossible Mission Force, IMF, I don't know. But Mission Impossible 3, directed by J.J. Abrams. Now, apparently there were a few directors approached to do the third movie. One was David Fincher, the other was Joe Carnahan, but they had creative differences with the studio and probably with Tom Cruise as well. David Fincher would be interesting to see what he would do with a Mission Impossible movie. Joe Carnahan, fuck him. Because he didn't get this movie, he did the A-Team and he fucked it up. And I have no respect for him for that. There is an interview where he clearly says that he didn't give a shit about the A-Team TV show. He only did the A-Team movie because he did not get Mission Impossible and he wanted to do a Mission Impossible type of movie and see if he could do it. So, okay, if I have to do the A-Team, fine. And you can find it online, the interview that he did that. So fuck Joe Carnahan. But, so Tom Cruise got J.J. Abrams because he was a big fan of the TV show Alias, which I have heard of but never seen. Tom Cruise watched all the episodes of Alias and said, hey, get this guy. Now, J.J. Abrams, I'm going to say this right off the bat, this is the best film he's done, in my opinion. I think it's the only good film he's directed, because I don't like his Star Trek movies. I do not like The Force Awakens. I think they're all overrated bullshit that J.J. Abrams has done. I did not watch Lost, the TV show. I think he had a hand in writing regarding Henry. So that part and this, and I think he had a hand writing Joyride. So some of his writing is fine, because I like Joyride and Regarding Henry. But directing-wise, to me, this is the only good one he's done and the best one he's done. And when this film came out, it did not do too well. It was a box office disappointment. I think it made less than the first two movies, and I think at this point it's the lowest grossing Mission Impossible film, because it made like 130-some million in the US and 300-some million worldwide. It was considered a box office disappointment. Which is too bad, because I think this is one of the best ones in the franchise. Has a good... One aspect I like about it, you give a nice, good character... I don't want to say arc, but character core with Tom Cruise's character, because he falls in love. He's in love with this woman, played by Michelle Monaghan, who I remember from Eagle Eye, among other movies. And she does a good job as his fiancée, and in the middle of the film they do get married. So there's a personal stake to Tom Cruise's character. Ving Rhames, I mentioned, I think in the first or second, the review for the first or second film, I'm like, man, I wish Ving Rhames had more to do. Technically, this is the one he has the most to do out of all the Mission Impossible movies. Like Ving Rhames, he's definitely in a good chunk of this movie, which is nice to see him more utilized. This is where you introduce Simon Pegg into the franchise, who would be in the next... I think he's in the new one too, so in 4 and 5 and the new one coming out 6, Fallout. You also have Maggie Q as part of the cast, as one of the members of Tom Cruise's team. Jonathan Rhys-Meyers, who was in From Paris with Love, which I reviewed, he's part of the team. Lawrence Fishburne, he's in there as the head of IMF. Also, Billy Crudup, who's part of IMF. This is the guy in Alien Covenant who is stupid enough to look in the age and I'm like, yeah, that's where I recognize him from. And yes, you do have Philip Seymour Hoffman, may he rest in peace, who I thought was the best villain of the Mission Impossible movie franchise, because he's not in the film a lot, but when he's there, I think he brings a lot of intensity to his part. And I would love to have seen more of him in this movie. Just a good, intense role as the villain of the piece. So, really good cast. This might have been the first film he directed, J.J. Abrams. I thought he was very capable. Did a very capable job. Starts off very intense. Usually in Mission Impossible films is with an action scene or a stunt, or maybe not the first movie, but things afterward. It's maybe a stunt with Tom Cruise on the mountain, or the plane in Rogue Nation. Here it's a very intense emotional scene with Philip Seymour Hoffman having his fiance, Tom Cruise's fiance, count to 10. He's like, "You don't think I'll do it?" Intense, best word I could describe it. Then you have the credits, and we have time before that, where he's with his fiance. He gets called in. He meets up with Billy Crudup in this convenience store, and the mission is, here's this woman who is your trainee. She's gone missing. Here's this Kodak camera if you want more info. You'll have a team, Ving Rhames, Maggie Q, and Jonathan Rhys-Meyers. And I thought the mission there was entertaining mission. Ving Rhames' vehicle has these big guns that are shredding up this building, while Tom Cruise rescues the trainee named Lindsay, and they're moving and gunning. Some nicely done shots. Shoots one out the window, one bag out the window. They rescue her. They get in this helicopter chase. They find out she has a bomb in her head. And this helicopter chase through this wind farm. All these windmills. And it does some nice surprises as well. You think she's going to be okay. They're ready to do something to save her. Boom, she dies. And I'm sure when I first saw this, I didn't expect that to happen. Because usually, the hero saves the day, saves the person. Didn't happen in this instance. I thought Tom Cruise did a good job performance-wise in that scene. They introduced Lawrence Fishburne as the head of IMF. Simon Pegg is the tech guy. Of course, Simon Pegg, you've seen him in films like Shaun of the Dead, among other movies. And so Tom Cruise goes, hey, we have a way to kidnap and get the bad guy, Philip Seymour Hoffman. It'll be just us. So he fucks up this camera. It takes place in Vatican City. He's able to take a picture and print it off in this nifty machine and put it there so that when the camera works, it thinks it's on the same image. Able to take a mask and kidnap Philip Seymour Hoffman. Some nice scenes. There's one scene where you see how they put the mask on, and I like that it's done on one shot. And some nice way of creative editing where they put the mask on and Vin is pressing it against Tom Cruise's face. And I guess when on the side, when Ving Rhames has this, I'm guessing that's sort of an edit so that the CGI gets put in there so it looks more and more in place of the skin. That was a very creative way they did it. So it made you in one shot see how this mask thing works and made it a bit more believable. So I thought that was pretty damn well done. Because I didn't notice the edits from that. They knock him out, they kidnap him, they have him on this plane. Philip Seymour Hoffman hits a nerve on Tom Cruise, and Tom Cruise tries to threaten him, throwing him off the plane, but he doesn't. They're in this convoy on this bridge that they get shot at. That's sort of one of the big action scenes in the movie, where their convoy gets attacked by this drone, and cars blowing up. Tom Cruise has to get it, shoots down the drone. Some nice stunt work, like when drone hits one car and the explosion catapults Tom Cruise hitting the side of this car. Getting some nice stunt work. And then one thing leads to another. His wife gets kidnapped. And you get some nice emotional states for Tom Cruise's character. He's got to beat up these guys in the elevator, his thief from IMF, and they think it's his fault. They got to steal this thing the bad guy wants in Shanghai. And by doing so, he has to swing from one building to another, which I honestly like this more than Ghost Protocol. Most people would say they like the Ghost Protocol one better. But I don't know, this one I liked it more, where he does the swing and slides down, shoots two bad guys, and I don't know. I can't really explain it too much. I just prefer it that way. Gets what they need. Escapes parachute. It's too low, so he's smashing through one through another, smashes through a building. Gives it to the bad guy, gets knocked out, and then you get to the first scene in the movie with another nice fake-out scene where you think they shoot his wife. At this point, it's not his wife. But then it's a fake mask, and you realize Billy Crudup is part of the bad guys. He's like, well, Phil Seymour Hoffman wanted me to kill her, but hey, we need to get some more info out of you. We know that you really did bring us what we wanted. Otherwise, he would have said something. I thought that was a nice fake-out moment. Again, I remember when I first saw this, I remember being surprised and sort of like pissed at myself. Like, I should have thought of that, but I didn't. And it was an entertaining finale. They're in the, I want to say the canals in Shanghai, where Tom Cruise knocks this guy out, and he's running, getting out by someone paid, has to fight these guys off. He has a bomb in his head now, so Phil Seymour is beating him up. And I know some of my friends don't like the death of Phil Seymour Hoffman in this movie. I gotta disagree with them. I liked it, because they both, after Tom Cruise beats the shit out of him with his elbows and punches Seymour Hoffman, they both go out. And then he turns Philip Seymour Hoffman and makes Philip Seymour Hoffman get hit by a car. It's not like Phil Seymour Hoffman ran out, oh shit. No, I mean, they both roll out and Tom Cruise makes him get hit. So I was satisfied with it. I know my friend Mike and Effrey were not happy with it, but we agree to disagree with that. I like some of the bits of humor they were going for the film, like he's trying to show how to use the weapon, and hey, you're going to have to fry me to kill this thing, so, you know, if I'm dead for a while. Just the way he was trying to explain it had some little bits of humor I liked. And then Michelle Monaghan shows that she can handle herself, shoots some of the bad guys, zaps him back up, gives him CPR. And then when Tom Cruise wakes up and he looks at the dead bodies like, you did that? Wow. I like that. It was a nice ending where he has the wife meet the team and they go on their honeymoon and everything's fine. Any problems I had with the film? Yeah, it would have been nice to see more of Philip Seymour Hoffman. He was definitely, when he was there, an intense villain. When he does the swing from one building to another, there are certain up-close shots, either when he's swinging or when he's coming down the parachute. Sort of this weird, like, up-close like this, where he's kind of shaking, and you could tell, I don't know if there's, like, almost like shaky cam or green screen or whatever the hell it was, but there's certain shots where he's doing like this. I don't know how to describe it other than it's sort of in the midst of doing a swing, or later on when he's parachuting down, sort of like Tom Cruise here is like a shot they cut to where he's kind of moving back and forth or swinging back and forth, and I don't know, it just looked like shaky, off. I don't know how to describe it without putting in footage, and I don't trust Paramount, so that's why I don't have footage. Especially with newer films like this, since then another one's coming out. I don't know how else to describe it other than that, but those scenes were a bit off in the midst of good, solid action set pieces. Other than that, I'm wanting to see more of Philip Seymour Hoffman. The score was there. I mean, I can't praise or make fun of the score. It was, yeah. Overall, I thought it was an entertaining movie. I thought the pacing in this film didn't bother me as much as the first film. I thought the bits of romance between him and Michelle Monaghan worked better than in Mission Impossible 2. Because that was a romance I didn't really buy, and here it's in the middle, haven't been established, and I thought those two had a bit more chemistry with each other. Nice additions of having like Lawrence Fishburne. It's the only one he's been in, but it was nice to see him in there. Simon Pegg, nice addition of him. Nice to see more of Ving Rhames in the movie. I keep repeating myself, but Phil Seymour Hoffman, I do think he's the best villain in these movies. It's nice that there's some personal stake with Tom Cruise's character. And I think Tom Cruise does a really good job acting-wise in those sequences. I mean, in the beginning, you just see this tear shed down his face, and he's not... No matter what you want to say about Tom Cruise, he's not sleepwalking through these movies, especially this one. And when the action scenes happen, whether it be the shootout, trying to get the trainee, this lady, out of there, whether it be the convoy being hit on the bridge, definitely some satisfying sequences. I'm hesitating because I'm trying to think, would I put this above the first one or not? Because I think my favorite one is Rogue Nation. I might put the first one above this just because that little sense of mystery and the breaking into something. I'm always partial to how it was done in the first one the most. Simple yet effective. A lot of it based on Brian De Palma's direction. And then the ending with the helicopter. Probably my favorite finale. So yeah, I would put I would say Rogue Nation, the first one, and this. And I'm sure I'll still be thinking about that when I get to Rogue Nation. I'm sure even in that I'd be like, do I like the first one or the third one? But gun to my head, probably Rogue Nation, the first movie, and then this one. But either way, still an entertaining film, Mission Impossible 3. I know this got sort of a bad rap. Don't really get why. I think this is much better than Ghost Protocol, which got more of the box office and praise. So I don't understand that, but to each their own. I definitely thought this went at a better pace than Ghost Protocol. The villain was better in this one than Ghost Protocol. The action scenes I remember much more in here than in Ghost Protocol. And I thought the story with the personal stakes of Ethan Hunt's character of Ethan Hunt was more interesting than whatever the hell Ghost Protocol had. That's just my opinion. By the way, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.